Nets Kingdom.
Fuck that house now. I'm back. To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it. Niggas just can't take it. Yeah.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ. I'm here with Cypher. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Nets Kingdom 1. Also, all our Twitters are scrolling at the bottom. So today, we're here to talk about Drake Powell. The Nets just got blown out by 30 to the Knicks. Sucks to lose to the Knicks. I don't like losing to the Knicks, but the tank continues on. But before we get into Drake Powell, Cypher, let me know your thoughts on the state of the Nets tank. So we're clearly in the rebuild mode. I think we're averaging about 113 points per game. We're giving up about 124 points per game defensively. I think we're the worst defense in the NBA. You know how young this roster is. We got the first round rookies. What is your current tank status? Like, how are you feeling about the tank right now?
Good. They're 1-9 after tonight. I think they have the worst record in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, as it stands right now, I think the Pacers, we're fighting with the Pacers right now, I think right now for the worst.
Yep. But bottom 3, 100%. I think the Pelicans have like 2 wins, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in the bottom 3, which is exactly where we want to be, and completely different compared to last season where the Nets started like 5-5 at this point in the year.
Yeah.
Which is good. The pick looks good. They have hopefully they could be legitimately the worst team in the league and have that 100% chance at the top 5 pick. Because you've been watching like this draft class, like Caleb Wilson looks like a fucking superstar.
Yeah.
And he's gonna go 4th. Like the 4th player in this draft is gonna go. Looks like the best player from last year's draft, which is insane to me.
Yeah, like this draft class is insane. Pelicans are 2-7, so you're correct. They have 2 wins. The Pacers are 1-8, but they're currently down 8 to the Warriors as we speak right now, and then we're tied with the Wizards 1-9. So yeah, I feel like this tank status is good. I think we're going to be probably keeping an eye on the Wizards and the Pacers. Those 2 teams I think are pretty bad, and I think they're gonna try. We see the Pacers are aggressive today. Like they rested Pascal Siakam today, and like we need rest, and you're 8 games in. That's how you know their GM is serious. But
yeah,
I think we're in good status. I just got to keep an eye. As long as we're bottom 3, and I think a lot of people, before we get into Drake Powell, a lot of people were saying like, should we go for the worst record, or does it really matter 3 or like if we're bottom 2, bottom 3, bottom 4?
Go for the worst record.
Go for the worst.
Like pretty binary. And look, I understand the desire to want to win a few games, but no, the math is very objective here. It's like, hey, you have to put yourself in the best position possible to get the best pick.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna matter later. Like it really does. Like looking at last year's draft, like if the Nets had the 5th pick, they would have had their choice of Ace Bailey, Trey Johnson, or Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah.
And Bailey, he's having a rough start. He's dealing with an injury. But Trey Johnson and Jeremiah Fears look like future stars right now.
Yeah.
If we had one of those guys, like the outlook for the Nets would be so different. But the Nets ended up picking 8th, and they ended up reaching on Jagor. And look, he's been pretty solid. We're going to talk about him too.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the star upside that we really need, and so we need to be bad this year so we could get the Boozer, the Wilson, the Debanster, the Peterson. One of those guys, and really change this franchise.
Yeah, because I think Nets fans were like, oh, Nets fans, it doesn't matter. I think going for that worst record and making sure our floor is as high as it can be, and then letting the chips fall after that. That's where you let your chips fall. Get the worst record, make sure your floor is the 5th pick, and then let the chances fall where they may. So
yeah, and if you get the 5th pick, you figure it out.
Yeah. So Drake Powell, man, what a rookie. I think Drake is my new favorite rookie, man. I mean, these numbers, I know the numbers don't tell the whole story, but tonight he was amazing. The pull-up out. First of all, I'll talk about the defense. The defense is where we know Drake is, that's his calling card. We scouted him. We did the videos on him. We know the point of attack defense is great. You know, he's athletic enough to protect the rim, get block shots. But the on-ball creation, that's where I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. This I was not expecting, you know, because I thought Drake was more limited to like catch and shoot threes. And shout out to Hubie Brown, the coach of UNC. He did not really play Drake that much. We didn't see on-ball creation from Drake in college. So everybody knows like his usage is one of the lowest usages when in I think draft history when he got drafted to us. So we're all like expecting him just to be like a corner boy, right? A shooting, catch and shoot wing that can play defense, that typical 3-and-D modern wing, 6'6". But then these minutes against the Knicks tonight, it's like he was just getting pull-up threes. He was getting by his man, floater. These past 2 games, he's shown us that he's like a 3-level scorer. So just break down the stats. What do you think about Drake, bro? For tonight?
Okay, so he's played 3 games.
Yeah.
His like total, like not total, but his like averages look insane because he's only played 3 games, so they're going to be weird.
Yeah.
I'll just bring them up because you know content is content. But 6.3 points, 2 rebounds, 1.5 assists,
Yeah.
59% from the field, 50% from 3, 100 from the free throw line. He's averaged 15.3 minutes per game.
Mhm.
Uh, his stats are being carried by his performance tonight.
Yeah.
His total points, I think he scored 2/3, 67% of his total points tonight, which shows how little he's played so far. I mean, he's been dealing with the ankle injuries, so he missed a lot of time, and then he came back, hurt his ankle again, and had to miss more time.
Yeah.
So hopefully Powell could stay healthy because he looked amazing tonight. I mean, look, 15 points, 5 of 8 shooting. He didn't miss a single 3. He even has some playmaking stuff where he kicked out to shooters a couple times, and it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Like he kind of looked like a point guard at moments. Pull up a bunch of pull-up threes with defenders on his face. He had one atop the key against Mikal Bridges that looked really good.
Yeah.
Like you said, like he had one of the lowest usages in college. For him to be 19 years old, come into the NBA and like look pretty good on the ball,
Yeah.
being able to put the ball on the floor, that's impressive. You got to give credit to the Nets for being able to get him at 23.
Yeah, I think like I know when coming into the draft, I thought Drake was probably our safest pick because of his floor. And now that we've seen he has on-ball ability, that's kind of looking like it's legit because he can beat his man without a screen, and he can get downhill. We see him score at all 3 levels. I remember Detroit. He was guarding Cade. He blocked down Cade for a possession. Cade Cunningham, which is not an easy guy to guard. And
I
then he
remember
got
that.
back.
I was at that game.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
he was-
I remember that. I remember it was baseline, and I was
Yeah.
really. I remember I didn't comment on it because
Mhm.
we were getting like killed in the second half
Yeah.
of that game. We put up a fight in the first half, which
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'm getting a show. But yeah, he had like one really good possession where he was like holding his own again against Cade, and he like had to force him to pass out.
Yeah.
Offensively, I mean, Powell, if the scoring is legit, and look, I don't want to overreact after a great game like this, but if he could maintain this on-ball stuff, then he could be like, a Mikal Bridges or an OG type of player, like really.
Yeah. And again, we don't want to overreact, but we just love that we're seeing the flashes. And I want to ask you this because how can his minutes grow? First question is how can Drake? What do you think Drake needs to get better at? And then my second is, can he break this rotation? Like, can he start? Do you think there's a point in the season where Coach
Yes.
Jordy's going to start him?
Okay, I think he can start.
Mhm.
Do I think Jordy's going to start him? Probably not. Like the Nets have look, I think Man, MPJ, and Clowney are ahead of the pecking order right now.
Right.
And because look, the Nets, Jagor was the 8th pick in the draft, and he's going to get that starting spot because he was the 8th pick, and it would look bad if he had the 23rd pick.
He gets special treatment because he's the 8th pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now I know Sarah started the year, but Jagor has looked pretty decent too. So I think as long as they both look decent, Jagor is going to get the priority.
Okay. And then what do you think Drake needs to get better at?
Get better. So I mean, he's got to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Being attacking off the catch, putting the ball on the floor, and getting to the rim. He had a few pull-up mid-range shots that he missed tonight, but that it looked good. I like the attempts. I like that he isn't afraid to do that, and the shooting looks good. Like the pull-up shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
don't
looks
know.
more fluid. I was gonna say that, like, well, like it doesn't look like how it looked when he was first came in. Like it looks more
It looks
fluid.
slow first in preseason. It looked
Yeah, it
pretty
looked
slow.
really slow, and now it looks a little bit faster, and it looks more fluid for some reason. He must have been working on it.
Yeah, he's a lot faster. It looks
Yeah,
good. He's able to do it in front of defenders. Like these weren't. He wasn't hitting like open threes, in
yeah,
the corner. Like these were like off movement, defender in his face. That's great. Like it really is like promising to see that.
yeah,
And he's got his defensive tools are incredible. Like again, 45-inch vertical, 43-inch vertical.
yeah,
He's got the 7-foot wingspan. He's 6'5", 6'6". I don't know if he's ever going to be a starter this year because the Nets have just a ton of players to deal with.
yeah.
But next year I could see it. Like I think he'd be a starter next year, 100%.
Oh yeah. And to me, like we should give him the minutes this year to prepare him from next year, just in case he has to play off ball with Darren or Sam Boozer, one of the top picks that we get. Prepare him now, give him the minutes now, and then if he's averaging, like if he gives me a good 10, not even 10 points a game, I'll take 8 points, 5 rebounds, and a decent efficiency from the field and 3-point shooting. That's all I think that's my goal for him this year. At least 8 points, 8 to 10 points a game. Give me 5 rebounds and give me good efficiency. That's what I think his goal is for the rest of the season. Yeah. So next up, we're gonna talk about Yegor, the other rookie, before we get out of here, bro. So
We should also
Yegor,
bring
yeah,
up Clowney too.
yeah, and Clowney too.
Yeah.
Yegor, man, I really, like I said, every time I watch Yegor, it's like I want him to attack the rim. And I said this, I think, on Chubb Spaces. There was a point in the game. Shout out to Jay. He tweeted out that Yegor coach got upset because he wasn't aggressive. I know the defense is kind of lacking, and he benched him. And during a blowout too, mind you, during a blowout, which is I know teachable moments as a coach, but that aggressive nature that you're supposed to have, like, yes, you got to build up confidence. I know he's a rookie and he's 19. I get it. Like the lights are bright. It's Madison Square Garden. But there's going to have to come to a time where you can't be afraid to get to the rim. You can't pass out when you have open layups. You have a straight line to the basket. You're 6'8". Try to throw it on somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to have to come to a point in the time where you're going to have to attack the rim, because in the long run, if you don't, it will hurt you, because teams are not going to respect that. It's just going to hurt your offensive fluidity in the long run, unless we use him as just a movement shooter, catch and shoot shooter. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody needs to be able to attack a closeout in this modern NBA. But Jaeger's been kind of up and down. He's been scoring some games, and then we saw last game against was the Pistons. He did okay. He had the assist. He scored. But like, what's your analysis of Jaeger these past 3 games? Now that the 2 games he's been starting.
Okay, so I was impressed with the Pistons game.
Pistons game, okay.
Yeah, so okay, his playmaking, especially in the pick and roll, is excellent. Like he that's what his bread and butter in college.
Yeah,
That's a skill that we haven't surprisingly used enough, and I feel like we should set him up more with those.
yeah,
Because he's better at getting to the rim on these pick and rolls.
yeah,
Uh, you know, he knows how to navigate those screens offensively. He knows how to kick out to shooters. He had 7 assists last game as the starter. A lot of them were in the pick and roll where he kicked out to shooters, specifically Clowney, like when he was hot last game. Tonight, I don't know. He does have those aggression issues when it's not a pick and roll.
yeah,
I can't really fully fault him for it, because I don't know, that might just be his limitation, where if it's not a set play, he's not really going to the rim.
yeah, yeah.
The shooting, so he's calmed down from 3. I think before tonight he was shooting 32% from 3, which isn't terrible.
Mhm.
But 34% from the field before tonight. He's got to work on getting the ball in the basket and really becoming more comfortable as an on-ball player.
Yeah.
He had a couple of threes tonight. He had a fadeaway. I think, yeah, Jordy's right. He's got to get better at being aggressive.
Mhm.
He hasn't looked the worst, but he still has his bad games are really bad. Like he
Yeah.
really is a project player, and he's got to figure it out. Not just him, but same thing goes for Nolan, Seraph, and Danny Wolf.
Now, the decision making under stress, the turnovers, how you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about Jaeger? Because I feel like these past two games were kind of pushing him to be the lead guard. I know it's like point guard, like by committee a little bit, but you see them trying to push him to be that guard. How do you feel about like him, the lead guard kind of role now? Or do you not like? Are
Uh,
you still not comfortable with him being like? You rather just somebody else run the point? Do you think Jaeger is better with like a CT running the one, or like somebody else when Terrence Mann running the one, or do you think he's not as good without those guys? Like,
I think in the short term, it'd be better if somebody else handled the ball.
okay, yeah,
But he needs to handle the ball. Like I
yeah,
think Jordy's correct for making him do it because, and look, we talked about this in the scouting videos.
yeah,
Like he needs to get comfortable on the ball and dealing with that NBA pressure. And look, if he's bad this year, so be it. We'll deal with it. We need the pick anyways.
yeah,
There's nothing to
yeah,
lose. Yeah, there's nothing to lose. Like if he isn't trying it now, because he's not going to have much opportunity to do it next year when the Nets have to win. Because the next year the Nets have the Rockets still own their pick.
yeah,
So they're going to have to try to win games next year and really make this roster better. So you got to deal with the growing pains now. Otherwise, you're going to have these problems down the road.
yeah. I agree. All right, so last up, Noah Clowney, man. So Noah Clowney, we've seen the three game. Has it been a 3 game stretch of Noah Clowney averaging, I think, 17. Um, man, Noah Clowney, bro, he had a rough beginning of the year. I remember I was texting you guys in the chat. I'm like, I can't even deal with watching Noah Clowney because he's like a cone on defense. He can't get rebounds, and he wasn't making threes. And then the game that broke out was the Pacers game where he just looked more comfortable. He was attacking the rim. I remember he tried to, I think he dunked on, I think Jay Huff or one of those guys. He was scoring, he was attacking the rim. Get to the Pistons game. He was aggressive that game. He was scoring on Duran. He was getting to the rim. He was making his threes. I think he shot he had like 4 3. What was it? 4 threes and
Yeah, 4 threes in the first quarter, all amazing, like all nothing but net.
yeah.
Uh, 12 points in the first. Like he was the reason why the Nets were able to be competitive in that first half.
Yeah. And then we get to this game where it just regressed back to what we saw in the beginning of the year. And I know the Nets just they optioned him to, I think they put him for 2026, 27. I think they
Yeah,
accepted that.
they accepted it. They
They accepted
exercised
it,
his
right?
26, 27
So he's
team
gonna
option.
be
Yeah.
here for that 2026, 2027 season. Year 3, how do you feel about Noah Clowney going down the road? Like, do you think that 3 game stretch or 2 game stretch was a blip? Or do you think it's something that he could build on, or you want it like what are your goals for Noah Clowney?
Okay, I'll say this.
Mhm.
And kind of wish we made the Noah video sooner because he had a stinker tonight.
Yeah.
Oof, it was
Stinker
bad.
tonight. Big stinker.
Okay,
Yeah.
before actually I'll get the bad stuff out first.
Yeah.
Like you said, he started the season terribly,
Yeah.
like really bad. Just couldn't. He was just a spot up guy. Really struggled to put the ball on the floor. Defensively, was getting like passed. Couldn't protect at the rim at all. Wasn't rebounding. Like he was like really bad, like terrible.
Yeah.
And then he had a 3 game stretch. I think it started with the Wolves game where he had 15 points on I believe 5 of 14 shooting.
Yeah.
Not efficient, but you like that he was getting up the shots because he was doing stuff he wasn't doing before.
Yeah.
Putting the ball on the floor, trying to get to the rim, hitting his threes, rebounding the ball. And he took that momentum into the Pacers game. And like you said, he had like that, dunk. I think he dunked on, was it Siakam?
It was like Jay Huff or Siak, one of those guys. Yeah.
It was one,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Had like a, and it was like a, it wasn't like a, he caught a lob. Like he started top of the key, drove to the rim, and just powered through someone.
Yeah.
He had 17 that game on 6 of 9 shooting, and he looked amazing. Like he was driving to the rim, doing all this dribble stuff. It wasn't just threes. And during the Pistons game, he looked like a tall Steph in that first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. He
Uh,
was
yeah,
insane.
yeah. Second half, he like struggled to put the ball in the basket, but first half, like he looked amazing. Finished that game with 19.
Mhm.
Had a 3 game stretch where he scored plus 15 points, and then tonight he ended up having 4 on 1 of 9 shooting.
Yeah.
Couldn't get anything going inside the arc. Turned back into the spot up shooter he was before.
Yeah.
With Clowney, it's like I don't know, he's 21 years old. He's still so young. I think he's younger than Danny Wolf.
Yeah, he is. He is. Yep.
Yeah, so like he's still like I'm not going to give up on him yet, I still want to see the off the dribble stuff. Like Clowney to me could become like a similar version of like Jane McDaniels.
Yes.
I could see that comp. It's gonna take work. Like he's got to get better. Like he's got to be more active on the rebounds, continue like the rim protection, the defense. But the offensive stuff, like I was really impressed. Like he's got to keep doing that. The on the dribble, off ball, like on the dribble stuff, like that. If he can continue that, then he's gonna be a really valuable player for this team.
Yeah. And I know he's going to be here for one more year. And I think like I want to see because this draft class, trust me, there's some guys that are better than Noah Clowney. So that's why he has this development this year is crucial for him because you got to prove to me that, I can be a real starter. Even if we get a
Yeah.
top 3 pick, I could be a real starter.
If
Because,
Clowney could pan out, because look, he's 6'9".
yeah.
Like when I was at the game, I really watching the game in person is so surreal and very different from watching on a screen.
Yeah.
And you could tell, like, man, these guys are huge.
Yeah.
Like Clowney is huge. If he could really like maintain like the on ball scoring, if the Nets end up getting like a Darren Peterson or an AJ DeBansta, like him, Drake Powell, and Egor would fit seamlessly with that on ball creator like those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. My issue is just the defense and the rebounding where it's 2 holes in his game that are just very, very eye-opening because we're gonna need those are really important. I mean, you're
Yes.
gonna be battling against these guys at the 4, and we're gonna need you to get rebounds. We're gonna need you to defend at the point of attack. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be a cone out there. That's my only thing. You can't be a cone, and you can't get bullied at the 4. You know what I'm saying? So those are my 2 issues. But like the on-ball stuff, I'm so happy that he's getting to the rim. Keep doing it. Keep shooting lights out off the 3. We know you can shoot. But it's the attack and the closeout. It's getting to the rim, getting to the foul line, and playing defense is what I'm looking for Noah. So, yeah. Let us know in the comments how you guys feel about, Noah, Drake, Jagor. How do you guys feel about our young players? How do you guys feel about the status of the tank? Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. All our Twitter is scrolling at the bottom, and Instagram is Nets Kingdom 1. Appreciate you guys so much. We'll be back.